Alright guys, welcome back to Blue Line Garage. A lot of people's been asking me where do I get my cars, and I get them at different auction sites. I get them at Copart, IAI, other auctions, but I mainly focus on Copart. It's just the auction site that I'm just drawn to, and I feel that it's easier for me to navigate their website, where IAI is somewhat similar, but it is a little bit harder in my eyes to navigate through. So I'm going to basically show you how to look for a car on Copart, and not just look for a car, but look for a car that might have hidden damage and save you some money in the long run. So I already have a car that I actually found, and I want to show you guys. I'm already logged into my account, and here is the car that I wanted to show you. So it's a 2012 Mercedes-Benz Cls 550 4MATIC. Doesn't look too bad, right? So we're just going to scroll down and skim the pictures, and then I'm going to stop at each picture and kind of show you things I've noticed. Alright, so we're looking down. The first thing I kind of noticed is that the car is actually lowered right here, and it's actually lowered on both sides. So this is the driver's side, this is the driver's side right here, another driver's side picture, and as you can see, it is lowered. And this is the passenger side as well, and you can see that it's lowered, and it's almost identical on all four tires. Basically, this is indicating that the driver probably added some aftermarket parts, lowered the car, try to make it a little bit more sleek looking. Now, I'm skimming inside. First thing I notice is this piece here hanging down, which is going to be the leg airbag. This is just the cover for it, which either is going to tell me that the airbag went off and they removed it and this is what's left over, or just because the car is old, the seam must have busted and the cover of the airbag must have came out. So this is what kind of caught my eye right away. Scroll down here, nothing too bad down here, of course. Engine compartment, I glance on this. I did notice a few little things, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Okay, I'm not too sure if the keys are involved or not, but this is the last picture here. And what I noticed is some bumper damage. So there's supposed to be some type of lip attached to here, not a diffuser, but probably just a lip. Could be a diffuser, I don't know. But it looked like it was hit somewhat back here. You can see the tape holding the bumper up right over here. These sensors, I don't know if they're in there or if they're out. I think they might have been taken out. I'm not too sure on that. And then, of course, it just confirms the VIN here. Let's look at some more information here. It does have a salvage title. It says it's valued at about $34,000. I always recommend checking this on Kelley Blue Book because I've seen cars where they estimated it to be, let's say, 20 grand and the Blue Book value is actually at 12 grand or vice versa. So always look it up if you're going to be really serious about buying a car. Biggest thing that I always look for is the document type. The value of the car, the damage. So here we have front end damage and rear end damage, which we kind of figured that out by just looking at the pictures. Okay, it is located here in Phoenix, basically the state that I live in, Arizona. It's going up to auction tomorrow, so I'm filming this on the 25th. And then there is a buy it now at $10,800. So right now there's only a bit of $80. There is, it says here, seller reserve not met. So this is telling me that it's being sold by a private person. Now, sometimes they tell you here who's selling the car, and most of the time it's an insurance company. But in fact, it's not listed here, which is basically telling me that it's a private seller, basically, which is trying to get as much money as they can for the car, which is why it's set for $10,800. And nobody has bid on it, most likely because of the damage that I've seen. So let's start from the top. Alright, so here, right off the bat, there's a gap in the hood. Okay, if the hood is kind of popped open, you should see more of a gap back here, but you don't. But it also seems like it's lined up, but it's not above it. It's basically up to the side. The front bumper basically is just hanging there a little bit. It's not fastened. They got the sensors here. I believe they're missing. The lower piece down here is missing. Let's see here. Windshield's cracked. I could see it in other photos as well, but the windshield's cracked. Let's go down here. Here looks like the bumper's binding with the fender. That doesn't look so good. Looks like the hood is being pried open on this end. Look how tight it is right here. That is way too tight. Could also be the photo itself. This is missing down here. Let's see what else here that I noticed. That's pretty much on this end here. Let's go down here. Now I do have tape here holding the bumper up, which is telling me that there's nothing holding this bumper in, which is indicating that there's actually more damage inside behind the bumper. Why it's not being held. I have this door gap here. This is being a little bit visible more than up here. As you can see, it's tight here, bigger here. This looks pretty clean right here. Let's go down more. Right here, you can see the door gap pretty big here. This door is actually closed from what I could tell. And look at the gap. So it's telling me that it had some type of movement in the structural frame here that's having that gap open. You can tell that it's pretty tight on the bottom here and pretty open up here. Same thing kind of going around here. The bumper does not look like it's lined up. This sensor here looks to be intact. As you can tell, it's different here. So this is telling me the sensors are missing. Why are they missing? We don't know. Let's see here. So here you could also see the windshield cracked off the shadows right here on the dash. Here basically telling me that the airbag kind of blown. Here I can't tell if this airbag has blown or not, but or it could have been a replacement. Basically what I've seen so far, I feel that the airbags had deployed in this vehicle, and possibly the owner tried to repair it halfway or repair it to the point where it would seem more attractive to a buyer to buy it and get stuck with it. Back here, I don't really see much back here of any issues at all, so we're just going to keep going down. But you can see a little bit of the front horn airbag, which can't help me with anything. You do want to look at the pillars, because sometimes the side curtain airbags would deploy and they might remove the curtains, but the roof liner would still stick out. So that's a good helpful thing there. Here, this is the master picture that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So if you look here, that's missing, some clips over here is missing, that's missing over there, some other clips are missing here. This looks homemade right here, this bracket here just to hold this headlight. This is not OEM, this is not factory. Same thing over here, has another bracket. Look at that. I wish I could zoom in on the pictures more, but you kind of get the drift here. So all this is homemade stuff here. So basically, this car has been in a pretty good wreck. And you could also look right through here. You can see the radiator, and you can see there's waves going through the radiator. Basically, this is telling me that this car was crashed a pretty good amount in the front, and they try to cover it up. We see this all the time where people, private citizens, will try and sell vehicles that they bought from Copart. Basically, they will replace a damaged bumper, a damaged headlight, damaged hood with a good one and cover some stuff up so you don't see the extent of the damage, and then try and sell it again through Copart, screwing you in the long run. The air vents are not here. The intake is right here. That's all missing. Why is that missing, you ask? It's because it was probably damaged in the front. That's why it's gone. I'm not too sure if the keys come with the car. It's not a big deal. I'm not buying this thing. But back here as well. So most likely this was a bumper that was just put on. So the bumper back here was probably a lot more damaged. All this under here was probably pushed down. You can see some things hanging down here. I do not see an exhaust, so possibly the exhaust was pushed down and cut off and missing. That's a pretty big red flag. There's red flags all over this car here. But the biggest thing is here. All these plastic pieces has nothing holding it down whatsoever. That's why there's tape holding it up. As you can see. Sometimes you could look for overspray. What I like to do is I like to look over here at the bolts. So these are fender bolts. So most likely it does not look like the fenders were removed. This one here looks like it's bent a little bit. But what I like to do is I like to compare the left side to the right side, because most likely it should be identical. And just this headlight brackets here are just a dead giveaway for some homemade stuff. This is ridiculous. I wish Copart would do a better job screening their cars and not allowing cars like this to go to auction. Through here, I like to get a better look through here, but sometimes the pictures ain't that great. The rearview mirror cover here is missing. Let's see. There is no zip tie around the collar, so there's no key attached. Sometimes people will sell these cars actually with intentionally with the missing key, so you don't start it up when you look at the car, so you can't tell what type of problems it has. So if it has a knocking sound, if it doesn't start, you won't be able to tell because the key's missing. So what they like to do is they just like to make it look pretty as much as they can. And another thing that I wish Copart would do is start taking pictures of inside the trunk areas. Inside the trunk areas also tell a lot about a car, and it's just one extra picture they should attach. So hopefully this helps you out. If you want to bid on this car, which I do not recommend, this is the lot number. You have about, hell if I know, 16 hours, 22 minutes, 17 seconds to bid on this thing and win it. So hopefully this helps you out. This is just a quick video to show you what to look for not to get scammed through Copart. All right, so make sure you like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions on anything else I should do, leave a comment, and talk to you later. Peace out.